Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're obviously taking a look at Bitcoin here. We're going to take a quick peek at some high block capital data, some back-end stuff that I think is very important in this regard. Also, kind of discuss this ascending trend that is having difficulty holding. I think there's a great chance we might see some further downside, and I'll explain why here as well. First of all, also just kind of throw it out there. Congrats to all my community members that took some healthy profits off our signals from yesterday. That was a really awesome experience to be able to get some healthy shorts in there for a change and just really kind of take some money out of the market. There's some funny stuff going on out there right now, but again, Bitcoin shorts are essentially the way to go right now. And if you take a look here, of course, we took a nice 35% from Bitcoin to take profit targets in one day roughly. Same thing with 32% from BNB. Okay, so again, those trades, one of those trades is still open as a matter of fact, so the BNB trade is still open, but generally speaking, considering another short, depending on how today's candlestick closes. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that and much more and kind of see what's going on. So let's go ahead and just jump right in there so you can kind of understand what's happening next here. So first and foremost, with high block capital, let's take a quick peek at some liquidation data. Keep in mind, this is a 7-day liquidation time frame here. So if we take a look, we have the most amount of potential support at 27,300 and the most amount of resistance at 29,500. So right in that range, 27.3 to 29.5 is essentially the range that we are in right now, that we have been pretty much for the last almost full 7 trading days. Okay, so again, keep in mind that could break to the upside or downside one way or the other, but with us no longer ascending in this trend, I feel as if we might see more likelihood to retest the 27,000 or lower range. If we take a look at open interest, let's see what we are looking at here for the longs. Longs are essentially accumulated right there at the 28,200 mark, so they're slightly underwater on that. And then the shorts, if you take a look at them, they are actually doing moderately well, but they're pretty much right at break even for lack of a better term. So 28,000 to 28,400 is kind of the range for the open shorts here right now for the open interest. So what does that mean for us here on the charts? Well, we have open interest coming down. We have a decreased amount of asks versus bids, and we're seeing more longs getting liquidated. So really what that tells us here is that that ascending trend that we're seeing is getting retested. It's a point of contention, and we probably want to wait just a little bit longer to kind of find out what's going to happen next. So to me, I would say wait for today's candlestick closure before you decide to take entry might be an appropriate way to go, because even though we are looking like we're diverging, which actually we technically are, if you look at the MACD here, we have a significant divergence there, as well as the fact that the money flow index is coming down. That basically just means there's a lot more money coming off the market, therefore more selling opportunities are coming here. Okay. Now, if we take a look at this ascending trend, just to kind of clarify, we see a few points that the price has hit. Right here we wick down, but we haven't officially closed below. So there's potential for the price to break to the upside. It is common for prices to consolidate like this in an ascending type of wedge and to effectively break to the upside. Okay. We can't rule that out, but we should consider the fact that we've had enough time at this price point to have broken upwards, and we haven't yet. And it's a great sign that there's a lot of resistance at this level still, and the price could come back down as well. So let's take a look at some moving averages, kind of see if that's any help. We got the 20-day SMA, kind of just got tested there yesterday. A nice little kiss there at 27,500. So 27.5 is the temporary support level. Coincidentally, right there at the 0.618 Fibonacci. So if you see this guy here, 0.618, that is essentially a hold of a support level. Okay, so it kind of reaffirms the fact that we have that support based on liquidation levels too between 27,000 and 27.5. So there's a great amount of support in this range. Just know if we were to lose 27.5, there's a great chance we're going to fill this gap here and see somewhere in the range of 25,300. I think it's a very strong likelihood. But for right now, we are seeing slightly more bearish signs than bullish on the macro. Let's go ahead and see what the 4-hour tells us here. We are kind of drawing dead here in a way. We're not seeing higher highs or higher lows per se. While this is technically a lower low, I mean, it's kind of more so parallel. This is a lower high, so we have that. If we cannot create a new, if this next low isn't higher than the previous low, then we're going to be in a position where the price action is going to come down. Okay, so if we close at 27,800 or lower, it's a great chance we're going to see the price continue lower. If we can close, just say at 28.2 or higher, then I would say we have a much better chance of further upside. We don't want to have this indecisive like doji type of candle closure today, because that would really give us kind of a, well, it wouldn't give us confirmation in either direction. Okay. Ultimately, you want to try to have some type of confirmation. That's what I, build most of my trading habits off of, and of course, by community members that are, have watched my Trading Academy videos, that confirmation is extremely important. In fact, with our recent CC indicator, CC Golden indicator, it really holds and takes all that into consideration, right? That's the whole point of it. So to me, confirmation is a big deal, and we don't have true confirmation just yet. We're seeing a lot of false positives with these lower highs and lower lows, but no true confirmation just yet. I would wait for the candlestick to close. Let's see if there's anything else that can kind of tell us here. First of all, TD sequential, we did have this overextension to the downside, and the price continued lower. That does happen. We saw the price come up here to a 6, get a reset down to a 5. That doesn't tell us too much. Okay, it really just means that we are essentially range bound until it breaks to the upside or downside. The thing that does confirm a lot here for us, though, is that the Ichimoku cloud, the price action is below, the conversion line is above the baseline, and of course, lag and spans intersecting with the price action. So, generally speaking, we only have 1 of 3 indications telling us to take a short position, but it's 1 out of 3 instead of 0 out of 3 for a long, right? Because there's nothing here really telling us a lot about the fact that the price could continue higher while we do have the conversion line above the baseline. That's still not safe. You never want to try to buy it going into the cloud here because these lagging. The lagging span is not free either, so in truth, we have a lot of reasons not to take a trade right now in both directions. But this does kind of reaffirm that if you have a short position open, you should have taken profits, but you want to consider leaving it open because the price action could come down further. Another reason why we have our BNB trade open here still as well, even though we hit our first profit target, it hasn't come back to hit that stop loss yet. So we're still in the green no matter how you look at it. All right, so again, and that's the important thing. If you are in profit, move your stop loss up so that way, heaven forbid, the price comes back, you still walk away profitable instead of wishing you hadn't done what you did by getting greedy and leaving money on the table, right? Again, those are things I love to teach, so make sure you check that out. Of course, cryptocash.tech if you want to become a better trader. We are going to have some promotional benefits here very soon as well as a consideration, but our day trades are coming very, very soon. We're working that out, and I think in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to have that up and running. And those are very consistent, and they're all based off of a lot of strategies that I use, more so with conformational strategies. Okay, so again, that's kind of where we're at here for the moment. I can really see no definitive direction, but I can tell you with us breaking to the downside on the moving average convergence on the daily, as well as the money flow index decreasing and some of this stuff we saw in the high block capital there with liquidation levels, I do feel like further downside would make more sense before the price legs up. But it has done exactly what I expected it to do. It came down to that 27.6 mark and it's essentially bounced. That is essentially what we're looking at here so far. So I would remain cautiously optimistic. I think I'm leaning slightly more towards the price coming down than up, but I'm going to wait for confirmation today and get a candlestick closure either above or below those levels first before I take a trade. Okay, those are things that I like to do. I'm a very patient trader. I hope the same for you as well. And if you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. I do look forward to working with you. Thank you again so much for your time. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take good care of yourself.